Hello, and welcome to Good Hands Hive's Beekeepers. Today I'll be narrating April 23rd, 2025 Hive Check. This is my third Hive check of my first hive, which is a nucleus hive that arrived April 12th, 2025. Temperature on this day is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, with a low of 58 degrees. The time is approximately 10:55 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. I'm located on the outskirts of Richmond, Virginia, and Henrico, Virginia. The purpose of this hive check is to refill the sugar feeder, so the frame feeder, and to add frames between the brood, checkerboarding it to encourage the bees to draw comb upon those frames rather than the medium-sized nucleus frames. This hive design was developed in conjunction with Frederick Dunn, and it is a long-laying hive. This was a previous design. Available for free online. This was before his green bottom board edition. It has a gable roof. It has a drain hole for a plug that bees can go in and out of after you close the hive. It has a ventilation hole that's covered with steel wool and steel mesh as well. There's one entrance to this hive, and for this hive, it's all the way to the right. This is hive number 1 in my bee yard. At this time, I did not have my second hive inhabited, but currently I do, and today is May 5th, 2025. So, why am I applying so much smoke in this video? So the reason why I'm applying so much smoke is that previously I was having more defensive behaviors of the bees as I was inspecting everything. I noticed though with my previous phone recordings that my movements are jerky, and even here looking at this film I can see how jerky it is, removing the cover board and the profiles. Cover boards themselves creating a jerky movement. So I'm, at the guidance of another YouTuber, I am smoking the bees heavily each time that I do a disruptive movement or something that I consider jerky. So the number of frames originally were 10 frames with bees. The temperament was calm in comparison to previous behavior. The queen was not observed, and the brood pattern was compact, tight, and stages of the brood that were observable were eggs, larvae, cat brood, and pupa. Swarm cells and supersedure cells were not observed. As far as queen cells and emergency cells, I did not observe them, so I have a question mark written in my log. As far as the food stores, honey and pollen were both observed, as well as wet nectar. Irregularities, hive beetles, yes, so hive beetles were present. I noticed them in the bottom, in the extra storage area. Varroa mites were not observed, and the smell was lightly fruity. So definitely their alarm pheromone was present, and so you'll definitely see me smoking more often in this video. Ants, mold, and wax moth were not present. So, as previously mentioned, I checkered the brood to encourage that extra comb building, since I was noticing such a significant amount of comb built on the bottom of the medium frames, and also the queen was laying eggs. You're going to see that here when I pull out the medium frames, and what you don't see is me removing that comb, which I do each time, and in hopes that it will reduce that building of extra comb. I filled the sugar water feeder a third full, and also during this film created a walkaway split, which was not observed in this film. And that concludes my observations. At the end of this video, you'll see some activity from the entry board, and you'll also see just a greater picture of what the two hives look like side by side. We utilized a cement block simple hive stand structure with 2x12s and both cement block and half cement blocks. All of the materials were purchased from Lowe's. For the original cost before we had to buy additional materials, it was around $600 for both builds. Of course, during the early months of 2025, that was the material cost, and all of which was purchased from Lowe's. My husband estimates about $100 more spent in materials during their build of the long laying, so approximately $700 for 2 long laying hives was the cost, and then the nucleus was $225. Thank you for watching.